What's up, everyone? My name is Brandon King. This is a Giants hat. This is a shirt that says 3 or E depending on how you look at it, and you are currently watching the very first episode of my show, MusicBox. You may be wondering, what the heck is MusicBox? I have no idea what that is. Well, you should be, because this is the first episode. What MusicBox is I basically take the best news stories on music that I can find lately of the past week, and I spell them out to you basically the simplest way I know how, with maybe my opinion thrown in there somewhere in there. But I want to be clear on something real quick. This is not a gossip video, okay? This is not about Kanye's new baby. This is not about J-Lo's new fragrance. This is not about movies or television or all that stuff. This is about music news. News that applies to musicians of the modern world, like Vampire Weekend, Justin Timberlake, Kesha. Musicians that you know and love. I mean, at least I'm hoping you like those three artists, because I do. But who knows, maybe you don't. Maybe you leave it in the comments, please. But this is not a gossip site. This is a music show. Okay? So if you came here to see a gossip video on musicians, this is not it. So please, go away now if this is a gossip. If you are a music fan, thank you for staying. So, with that formality out of the way, let's get started. Alright, let's get started with this. The MTV VMAs, the Video Music Awards for those of you who are unfamiliar, just announced their nominees for this year's ceremony set for August 25th in Brooklyn, New York. And I can't announce all the nominees because that would take like an hour or so, maybe a half an hour if I went really, really fast. But basically what you need to know is that Justin Timberlake and Macklemore and Ryan Lewis lead with 6 nominations each. Justin Timberlake for Mirror and Suit and Tie combined, and Macklemore and Ryan Lewis with 6 for Thrift Shop. And I'm just going to go over Video of the Year right now, since that's the most important. Video of the Year nominees. Justin Timberlake for Mirror. Macklemore and Ryan Lewis featuring Wands with Thrift Shop. Bruno Mars Locked Out of Heaven. Robin Thicke with T.I. and Pharrell with Blurred Lines, and Taylor Swift, I Knew You Were Trouble. That last one is a little bit of a wild card. Taylor Swift. She is an insanely popular artist, great song, great artist. If you are not a fan of Taylor Swift, I feel sorry for you, she is a great artist. But the video is not that good. Yes, it's all distorted and dark for Taylor Swift, but I'm sorry, if you compare it to something like Mirror, or Thrift Shop, or even Blurred Lines, it's not that good in the grand scheme of things. It's just not. And I think it is going to have a very good chance of winning, because Taylor Swift has millions of fans. Millions. Even if you compare her to Justin Timberlake, she's still like really, like this close. This close is probably the difference. Taylor, Justin, yeah. The problem is that I think it's going to be a competition between Thrift Shop and Trouble. Because Thrift Shop has been overplayed to the point that people are either sick of it, or the total pop heads are like, yeah, Macklemore! Funny voice. But seriously, I think those two are going to be tied for Video of the Year. It's sad for Mirror because it's so artistically shot, and I know it was totally popular, and it still is in my mind. But if you look, the VMAs are sort of a popularity contest. They kind of are. They really kind of are, except for some occasions. Tyler, the Creator. But they are kind of a popularity contest. And if you look at the scheme of popularity, Bruno Mars is popular. Robin Thicke, Blurred Lines is popular. Justin Timberlake is popular. But if you're looking at total songs, Thrift Shop and Trouble are the biggest. They are the most popular of the 5 nominees. So they have the best chance of winning because they have the most fans. However, it is very sad about that. Because, yes, while Thrift Shop is an amazing video, and yes, while Trouble is a decent video, correct me if I'm wrong if you think Taylor Swift's video should win, but I think that Mirror and Thrift Shop should be tied. They are both amazing videos. And the fact that Thrift Shop was filmed on a very indie budget, correct me if Macklemore is signed to a label, I don't think he is, but on an indie budget, that's a great video. It really is. And then you look at Mirror, it's so artistically shot that it has to be a contender. It just has to. If it wasn't put on this list, I would write a letter to MTV. And I would say, what the heck are you doing? But seriously, basically my prediction right now is that Thrift Shop and Trouble are going to be the main contenders. That is my prediction right now. If I am wrong, we'll see on August 26th. We'll see. But for right now, that's my prediction. Macklemore and Taylor Swift are going to be tied. Speaking of Justin Timberlake, he's making a lot of news lately. Not only is he nominated for 6 VMAs, not only is he performing at iHeartRadio, not only is he releasing 2 albums in the same year, I'll get to that in a second, But this story tops it all. As of right now, Justin Timberlake, the Justin Timberlake, is the highest selling album, the 2020 Experience, of the year so far. Now, just to put that into perspective, let's look at the top 5 albums of the year. Number 5, Imagine Dragons with Night Visions. That sold a little less than 700,000 copies. Number 4, Blake Shelton, Based on a True Story, which has sold a little over 700,000 copies. Mumford & Sons' Babel, which originally held the top spot, and it sold a little less than 900,000 copies, a little less, but still just around there, like 880, 890, somewhere around there. Number 2, Bruno Mars' Unorthodox Jukebox. That has sold a little under 1 million copies, like 980,000 copies. That's a lot of records. But then you look at Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake, the 2020 Experience Part 1, has sold over 2 million albums. 2 million! And it's the only album of the year that has sold over 1 million copies. That's a lot of records. And for a comeback album, this is big. David Bowie's comeback album didn't make that much. Britney Spears' comeback album didn't make that much. But the 2020 Experience has made 2 million records sold? That's a lot. And he's got a sequel coming out in September, the 2020 Experience Part 2, which is due out September 30th, I think. You can look it up if I'm wrong. But I think it's the 30th. I could be wrong. But do I agree with these numbers? Yes and no. I agree because I am proud of Justin Timberlake. He deserves it. He's the biggest pop star in the world. Pretty much. He's one of the biggest. I should rephrase that. He's a great artist. The album is pretty okay. It's not my top album of the year. I still say that Babel is pretty good, and Unorthodox Jukebox isn't my number 1 album of the year, but I'll go into that like maybe some other time of what's my best album of the year. But do I agree with these numbers? A little bit too much. Especially considering that he has a sequel coming out in 2 months. Now when you look at that, you're trying to wonder the sales projections of that. Like, is the 2020 Experience going to be better? Better selling even than Part 2? Because we haven't gotten much buzz for Part 2 except for that one teaser that dropped a couple of days ago. And while the song is good, it's not Suit and Tie good. It's not Mirror good. It's not the other songs on 2020 Experience good. I think 2020 Experience's Part 2 is probably going to be great. I admit that. But I don't think it's going to oversell Part 1. And that's the problem, because Part 1 has sold so many records. How are you going to possibly top 2 million sold in 5 months? With an album that's being dropped in the fall, which isn't really the prime time for album sales. And that's why I think the 2020 Experience Part 1 sold so much, because it would drop in March. Which you have like a couple months just to build the singles, and then you get this huge buzz in the summer. And that's usually when the albums get sold a lot. Correct me if I'm wrong if you think wrong. But yes, I do agree that he should have the success. I really do. I applaud you, Justin Timberlake. But I don't think that he's going to be able to match it with Part 2. Alright, what's next? Alright, this one's just going to be quick. Earl Sweatshirt, the rapper from Odd Future Wolfgang Killed 'Em All. Odd Future! He is from LA, and his mixtape from 2010, Earl, was critically acclaimed by critics. They loved him, and I'm guessing fans did too, because he ended up on Loiter Squad. Yeah. But his debut album, Doris, is set for release on August 20th, 2013. And in a recent interview with Rolling Stone, he said some of the guest appearances on the album. He said that RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan is going to be on there. Pharrell is going to be handling some of the production, not all of it, but some of it along with RZA. Mac Miller is going to be on at least one track, which I am very excited about. Tyler the Creator, Frank Ocean, and Domo Genesis from Odd Future are all going to be on the album. Don't ask me how much, I don't know, but they are going to be on the album, and it's coming out in August, that I just said. I'm not the biggest fan of Earl Sweatshirt, mostly because I haven't heard a lot of his stuff. I didn't listen to Earl very much. I did hear some of his stuff on the Odd Future collectives, like on the Odd Future tape, and the second one, if he was on there, I don't remember for sure, but I did remember him on the first one. And I like him. I really do. I think he's a very good lyricist. The beats he chooses are sometimes questionable, but I do really like him. Don't get me wrong. I know there's some die-hard Odd Future fans watching this probably, and they will probably kill me if I diss any of the members, but don't get me wrong, I love Odd Future. I love how you have these creative geniuses who are completely insane. You have Tyler the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, Frank Ocean, Domo Genesis, Taco, who else? Haji Beats, all these guys, and somehow they're all like kept on a certain level that's just good enough for people to listen to. And I like that. I like how you can be insane and listenable. That's why I don't really like Marilyn Manson that much, because he's insane and I can't listen to him. But I like Odd Future because they combine that. Am I excited for Doris? I am. I'm always excited for debut albums, even if they're from unknowns. But I haven't heard a lot of mainstream stuff from Earl Sweatshirt, so that's why I'm not a huge fan of him. If I was to hear a song of his on the radio, I'd be like, huh, who is this? This guy's from Odd Future? Let me listen to this guy. So yeah, I am excited for Doris. Mac Miller is probably going to be dope, because I love Mac Miller. Tyler the Creator, Frank Ocean, Domo Genesis, all those guys from Odd Future are probably going to handle the production and guest appearances great. Pharrell, for me, can do no wrong. And RZA is, well, RZA. He's basically a god in hip-hop. He really is. He was with Wu-Tang Clan, for Pete's sake. So yeah, I am excited for Doris, and I buy these guest appearances, because they do make logical sense. Because Earl did a guest appearance for Mac Miller, so it's only right that he does it for his album. The Odd Future members, they're in the same crew. Simple as that. RZA, I think, would make a really good fit for Earl Sweatshirt. I think they do kind of match up. But Pharrell is the oddball. Because Pharrell could make Earl's debut a mainstream hit. Pharrell can make A Dog a mainstream hit. Because he's that good at production. It's very sad, but it's true. So I'm iffy on Pharrell producing. I like that he's trying to get a diverse brand of producers, but I don't mind it. I really don't. So I'm glad for Earl Sweatshirt. Alright, what's next? Ooh, my head's a little askew. Alright, Nirvana. What do we know about Nirvana? Everything. Nevermind was a huge hit, and it was just re-released. And it looks like DGC is following that strategy, and they're going to re-release their second album, In Utero, in September. Problem is, no one knows what's going to be on it. I like In Utero. I really do. I know it didn't sell as much as Nevermind, and I get that fans, like mainstream fans, not like the hardcore rocker fans, they didn't like it as much. I just threw my hat. But I liked In Utero. I really did. And all of my friends really love In Utero. I'm not going to name call them, but you know who you are if you're watching this. I am a little bit scared about what they're going to put on it, because all they could just do is put on like oh yeah, here's all the tracks live, and here's a bonus video that you've never ever seen before that's probably been leaked online somewhere. That's it, that's the deluxe edition. And we're gonna be like, what? What did you do to this record? You just put on a live album? That's just stupid. Yeah, so I'm hoping that they announce what's going to be on it, and correct me if I'm wrong if you've seen anything that's going to be on the In Utero remix, but for right now, I'm going to hesitantly buy this. So, yeah, I'll probably buy it, but who knows? Alright, next up we have this. Ed Sheeran, the Irish singer who made his debut with Plus, and songs like A-Team and Lego House, and his EP with Yellow Wolf. He's hard at work completing his next album, which is still untitled. And in an interview lately with MTV, he said the following. His new album would have a dose of metal, influence from Fred Durst, who is the frontman from Limp Bizkit, the huge band from the 90s, and no Taylor Swift. And he also said this, quote, "Fans can expect songs, good songs. Though I'm not 100% through with the production yet, I keep changing my mind about the songs. I don't think anyone wants to dance to the sort of words I have to sing. They just don't want to cry and eat ice cream." First of all, I think that last part is hilarious. Thank you, Ed Sheeran, for making my day much better. Do I buy this news? No. I don't buy the influences. Dose of metal? No. Ed Sheeran, you're not metal. Even if, I agree. Going hip-hop is awesome because he has a bunch of hip-hop producers on the album. But going metal? Why? If you haven't noticed, metal doesn't sell that well in the mainstream community that you are currently in. If you're trying to not sell records, you're perfect. You're right on cue. But then influence from Fred Durst, I'm kind of interested in that. Are you going to be rapping? Because he said in an interview like a couple months ago that, no, I'm not going to be rapping on this record. I know I got hip-hop producers. I know I've got some guest stars who are rappers. But I'm not going to be rapping on this record. So, alright, well, what are you going to do with Fred Durst? Are you going to be, trying to sing, Behind Blue Eyes? Are you going to be, like, trying to be wild like Fred Durst? I don't get it. But the biggest news that I don't buy is no Taylor Swift. I don't get it. I get that you're both busy. I get that you're both huge artists. But if you haven't listened to their duet on Everything Has Changed on Taylor Swift's album Red, you have not lived. That song is awesome. It really is. And I really would hope that they would have traded off secrets on their albums, but it doesn't seem like it's going to look that way. And I am kind of sad about that, because I really did love the chemistry that they showed on that song, even when they performed it live. I saw the performance on July 4th. I saw them perform that song live with just acoustic guitars and such. And I really wanted to see more from those two together. I really did, because I think they do work. And I know gossip fans will be like, oh yeah, they're the cutest couple. No, I don't care about them being in love. I don't care. Like, I get it, they can be in love, I don't care. But I just want to hear new music from them because they sound amazing together. They really do. You have Taylor Swift, the total pop country crossover. And then you have Ed Sheeran, the total, like, couple of breakouts, but still kind of indie Irish folk singer like Donovan. The two of them together are perfect together, song-wise, even romantic-wise. I don't really care. But do I buy this news? For now, I'm going to sell it. I am kind of going to sell this news. Alright, this next piece of music news that I'm going to read off, I'm not going to have any opinion on. This is just information, pure information, because if I was to give opinion on it, I'd probably fall over because of a lack of breath. The iHeartRadio Festival has officially announced its lineup last week. And the event, if you don't know, it's in Las Vegas. It's from September 20th to September 21st. And here's the lineup for it. And I'm going to go kind of slowly just so you get all of it, because there are a lot of performers. But we'll see. The performances for the 20th are Katy Perry, Queen, the Queen, with Adam Lambert, Fun, Elton John, Keith Urban, J. Cole, Muse, Tiesto, and Chris Brown. That's a lot for one day, but there's more. September 21st, performers are Tim McGraw, Phoenix, Maroon 5, Bruno Mars, Zedd, Kesha, Miguel, 30 Seconds to Mars, Benny Benassi, and Justin Timberlake. Plus, there's more performers that don't even have a date scheduled yet, and those include Miley Cyrus, Cruella, Avril Lavigne, 21 Pilots, AWOL Nation, The Band Perry, Neo, The Wanted, and Justin Timberlake. That's a lot of performers, so I'm hoping you got all that. If not, you can just scroll back in the video and look, but I'm not repeating it again, because I'm out of breath. Alright, this is the last piece of music news for the day. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know who Lady Gaga is. She's been teasing us about a new album since just after Born This Way dropped, which was back in 2011. So, all the little monsters out there, not myself, but I do like Lady Gaga, have been waiting for a new album. And finally we got some information this week. Gaga herself said that ARTpOp, the new album from her, will be released on November 11th, 2013, with a single being released on August 19th that is yet to be named, and pre-orders finally starting on September 1st. So far, guests are rumored to include Akon and Azalea Banks, and Zedd, Madeon, Red One, and others have already confirmed to produce the album. I am happy on this. I'm happy that Lady Gaga's finally releasing some new material. I hate the fact that she's being so secretive about it. It seems like every single major pop star has to be so secretive about new releases. Because in this modern day, if you say, like, even if you joke, just say, yeah, I'm releasing an album in 2014. It'll be over the internet. Oh, Brandon King's releasing an album in 2014. Get ready. No. I just don't like that. Just say, like, yeah, I'm releasing an album on November 11th. Be ready. And then just leave it at that. People will get hyped about it, especially if you're as big as Lady Gaga. Because that's a big name. Next to Justin Bieber, it's like one of the biggest names. I know I already said Taylor Swift was, but there are a lot of really big names in music. And Lady Gaga is like, if not Justin Bieber, then Lady Gaga. Like, just barely. But I am excited for this. I know it's uncool to like Lady Gaga, but if you really strip, excuse that pun, but if you really strip down the whole like fashion stuff and the total theatrics of her, she's actually a really good singer, and even a pianist at that matter. She performed with the Rolling Stones and pulled it off. What does that say? That says a lot. So yeah, I am excited for this news. I am a little bit pissed that it's being kept under wraps, and that I wouldn't be surprised if Akon did do a guest appearance, because, as we all forget, Akon was the one who discovered Lady Gaga. And that's very, very sad. It's like, oh yeah, you made me hear, push you off of the cliff. Cause yeah, we haven't heard anything from Akon. I'm still waiting for Stadium. Akon, if you're watching this, I'm still waiting for Stadium. Um, and as for Azalea Banks, I do like Azalea Banks. She's a little bit creepy, but with Lady Gaga, creepy singer with creepy rapper, it works. So yeah, overall, I am excited for this. I know it's pretty uncool not to do that, but I really don't care. I won't be there day one like all the Little Monsters fan club, but I will listen to it and probably give my opinion on it. So there you have it. And ooh, actually that's about it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this. This was the very first episode. Hopefully it went off without a hitch. Please jump into the comments and agree, disagree. Tell me I forgot something. Tell me I added something that wasn't true. Or just say hi. Like, literally, just go into the comments and just say hi with a period. That's all I need. I just need to know that someone is watching this and that I'm not just some loser in a San Francisco Giants cap. What else? There will be a show on Wednesday as I was originally planning. But it won't be as much music news. Because of course that's only like 5 days. But it will still be on there. It'll still have all the music news. I'm starting something else. If you have a question for me or for music news, just leave it in the comments. Like say, anywhere from, what did you think of Vampire Weekend's Modern Vampires of the City? Or what is your dog's name? I don't care. Just leave a question, because I don't have an Ask FM yet. So just leave some questions down here, and I'll probably include it in Music Mailbag. So yeah, on behalf of myself, this pair of headphones, this copy of The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, which is actually not that bad. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Hopefully you learned something. Have a nice day.